But first tonight, the big story. The attempted assassination of Donald Trump. Let me start with this. This image of Trump, bloodied but defiant, seconds after being shot, shaking off his Secret Service guards to shout, "Fight, fight, fight," with the American flag flying high behind him, that has decided the election. Donald Trump will now win the November election against Joe Biden, and easily. I mean, Joe Biden is finished. But he may, in fact, now finally realise he's got to step down for another candidate in the next few weeks. He wouldn't do it in the next week or two because that'll seem like he's responsible for this attempted assassination. But gee, this has finished Joe Biden as a serious candidate. And it's made the contrast, you see, so undeniably, so powerfully strong. You've got strong Trump versus weak Biden. Who would you want running the country? So I think it's over. But it won't even matter if someone does replace Biden, because everything in that image actually speaks of a truth about Trump and a rottenness about the Democrats and their media allies. And nothing Trump said in his national address earlier today, people were praising it, oh, it's a healer. Nothing's going to make any difference either. Instead, it showed Biden and his party as total hypocrites. Biden now pleading for calm after years of smearing Trump as evil, a threat to democracy, even a Hitler.
Political record in this country has gotten very heated. It's time to cool it down. We all have a responsibility to do that.
Now, what Biden should have said is that he himself raised the temperature so dangerously. He and his Democrats and their media mates, they raised the hysteria about Trump to such insane levels that it was almost inevitable that some lunatic would think they were saving the nation by shooting Trump at a rally, in this case in working class Pennsylvania.
Take a look at what happened.
Now that's when Trump showed that he has, and look, I'm now going to apologise in advance for the crudeness of my language, but I don't think it can be said better. This is how it'll be understood. That is when Donald Trump showed he has balls of steel. He shook free of his guards, never mind that they were trying to rush him to safety. He was not going to run like a coward.
Wait.
He since said he didn't want people to panic. He did that so the working class people and in that area and everyone else could see that America would not fall, he would not fall. Now, of course, one scandal that Joe Biden's going to have to deal with, minor one given all that's facing him right now, is how the shooter got as close as 120 or so, 140 metres on a roof overlooking that stage. I mean, a good shot would certainly have taken Trump out. And this guy missed by only millimetres. And the worst is that people in that crowd actually spotted that gunman a minute or more earlier and warned police.
Yeah, look, there he is.
Because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here.
Right on the roof.
And check the sniper who was defending Trump. He was looking through his sights and then looking up as if not believing what he was seeing. And that left that killer a few critical seconds to wound Trump and kill a spectator behind him and wounding others as well before he himself was shot dead.
Take a look at what happened.
But the Biden administration's culpability goes much further than the bungled security. We don't yet know why the shooter, Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old living an hour away, wanted to kill Trump. He left no social media trail. Those who knew him at school described him as a loner.
He was bullied almost every day.
In what way? Can you explain?
I mean, he would sit alone at lunch. I mean, he was just an outcast, and you know how kids are nowadays.
Now, the media's left is desperate, even now, to dodge any responsibility for stoking hysterical fear of Donald Trump. And they've announced that Crooks was actually a Republican, signed up to the party, as if he were actually a Trump supporter, despite trying to kill Trump. What they could have also said was that Crooks also donated to a pro-Democrat campaign on the day that Biden was sworn in as president. His parents, social workers, voted left, Democrat and progressive. But the point is, or libertarian, but the point here is that whatever drove this man to try to kill Trump, if it wasn't him, if it wasn't this guy, it could have actually been anyone who truly believed that Trump was the devil, the dictator, the menacing threat that the Democrats have been claiming. So let me show you the hypocrisy of this Biden who is now pleading for calm today.
My fellow Americans, I want to speak to you tonight about the need for us to lower the temperature in our politics.
Lower the temperature, he says now. This is the same Biden who's been painting Trump as a new Hitler.
Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans quote a clear and present danger to our democracy. The same exact language used in Nazi Germany. Trump and his MAGA supporters not only embrace political violence, but they laugh about it.
This same Biden now calling for a lowering of the political temperature last week and also just last May ran these campaign videos demonizing Trump as a wannabe dictator.
This is who Donald Trump is, a lapdog for a dictator who blames America first. The United States must never be like Putin's Russia. We don't empower dictators. We don't undermine freedom. He's already led an insurrection and threatened to be a dictator on day one. Donald Trump can never hold this office again.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
I mean, it's just extraordinary. This Joe Biden pleading for, let's lower the temperature, let's take the heat out of things. It's his Democrat Party, his Democrat politicians who've been preaching or seeming to condone political violence against Trump.
I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
He is destructive to our democracy, and he has to be eliminated.
One of them was a never Trump Republican. Now, the mainstream media, the media left, went in even harder. So they're hypocrites too if they now say, oh, lower the temperature. The New Republic, for instance, just last month ran this cover, American Fascism, with Donald Trump with a Hitler moustache. The Washington Post actually printed this, a Trump dictatorship is increasingly inevitable. And even now, even today, after the shooting, the Atlantic magazine is doubling down, writing about the gunman and the would-be dictator, as if Trump was so evil that he actually invited being shot. It's sick. Now, we don't know the gunman's motives. I'm not making any assumptions. But can anyone be surprised if someone may have decided to remove a man they've been told is a monstrous evil, the Hitler? But you know, got to say again, few people in politics have been luckier in their enemies than Trump. His enemies have now made him so much stronger. Because the public has now seen through so much of this nonsense, the dirty tricks, and he keeps surviving them. You remember how the Democrats co-opted the FBI into making Trump seem in collusion with Vladimir Putin, the Russians, to steal the 2016 election? Totally fake. Completely fake news. That just made the deep state look corrupt, and the media too. And you remember the media and 51 former senior intelligence officials falsely insisting the laptop of Biden's son Hunter, a laptop with damning evidence suggesting corruption or at least influence peddling, was a fake. They said Russian disinformation. Again, what a lie. And you see now, Democrat prosecutors trying to stop Trump from becoming president again by bending the law to charge him in 4 separate legal cases, hoping he'll get jailed. It's just made the justice system seem crooked, and Trump's support has just grown stronger. And now this attempted assassination, it just completes the story of dirty tricks and makes Trump unbeatable in this election. It's his strength versus Biden's weakness. The contrast with feeble Joe Biden could not be stronger. But there's more. This attack will stop Biden playing his lunatic dictator Trump card and will wake up more Americans to the real threat to their peace and freedom. It's not the right. It really is the left, which must reflect how it's become the very threat it saw in Trump.